So the latest Gambit figure from the Hasbro Marvel Legends Nemesis Wave is here, and he's looking pretty solid. His accessories are kind of weak, not the greatest, but the body overall on the figure looks pretty sweet. So let's take a closer look and see what this figure has to offer. Hey, what's up guys, this is Ben and welcome back to the channel. So today I'll be looking at the new Gambit figure from Hasbro Marvel Legends. Now this Gambit figure is part of the Nemesis Wave and is one of the 7 figures available. Right, packaging here looks pretty sweet, right? It comes with some nice artwork there on the side. Back of the box is pretty standard, right? Has the sort of description of Gambit himself and some nice artwork featured from the comics there on the top. You can see here on the bottom, what figures make up what part of Nemesis here. So again, he makes up the bottom left leg, or rather, excuse me, Nemesis's right leg, right? So packaging looks pretty standard, Windows-based box. Let's look more into details. So next, we'll go ahead and unbox this figure real quick and kind of pull them out from the bottom here. Now, this is a Windows-based box, like I mentioned previously. So nothing much to it, but you do get a nice layout in sense of what the character and kit actually come with just from the box itself. Right, so decent layout here. Backdrop is pretty standard that you get in the other Nemesis Wave figures. It's nothing too special. Now here you can kind of see how it's laid out, including the weapon accessories, the Gambit figure itself, as well as Nemesis' leg. Backside here, you can see how the cape comes out and is well protected. Keep it nice and safe, right, and snug. So generally speaking, this is a standard, Windows-based box set, but I like how it's actually laid out pretty well. Next, let's move on to the actual figure body itself. I will go ahead and pull Gambit out of his packaging here, right? Just kind of give him a nice push from the back and pull him up, right? Now, first impression is that this character figure model is really good, guys, right? I really like how they've been able to replicate him from the comics itself. The paint applications came out very good in terms of how they've been able to give us that same replicated look, right? The red, the blue, and the kind of like light brown, right? A lot of details here and cuts, especially on the horizontal lines on the arm. Muscle looked pretty good. The belt itself came out really great, right? Including the pockets and that center sort of gold, right? So it stands out really well. Some of the other accessories like his red hash is pretty good, as well as his knee pads here. So kind of like you could different layers there that they've given to knee pads. Really like the boots, especially these like circular accessories they've been able to add in, and just a lot of the different layers, like kind of the cloth that they've given both on the arms and the boots itself. So a really good job there. And the cape itself, guys, really came out great, especially in terms of the layers and just the sculpting on the mold itself, right? You can kind of see like where the hood is and all the different layers of like fabric that kind of give you that replicated look, right? And different variable lengths too on the bottom there. So gives you a nice lifelike feel to it, as well just to the cape itself, right? So you can actually see all different like accessories here. The head mold and face look really good, right? Really like how done like work with his eyes, the eyebrows, and just the shape of the face. The hair itself came out and just great, right? The different layers there. Coloring looks good as well, but I really like how they styled it, right? Be able to give you the different variable length on the front and the back. Facial structure looks good, especially the lines on the expression have they been able to give you that like Remy LeBeau look came out great. Nice coloring on the lips and teeth as well as the eyes. So ultimately, guys, is a great figure overall from what I'm seeing, and great design overall. Next, let's move on to Remy LeBeau's accessories here. The first one here is the bow staff, right? So this is a pretty standard bow staff that you've seen used with other figures in the past. It's very similar, if not the same, as the one with the recent Moon Knight figure that was released, right, with Blackheart. The coloring does look pretty good here, a little different. It's a little like shinier silver, so not too much of a difference there, but like the clean sort of feel to it. To Gambit, right? And here are the hand molds, right? So these are just your standard closed fist hand molds. The coloring, though, does look pretty good, right? And matches the rest of the body well. The sculpting also came out good in terms of how they're able to keep the hands closed well, and the kind of the backside of the fist. So you can kind of see a couple of different layers there, and the inside too, right? You can see the fingers were symmetrically done very well, and just matches the actual figure body itself. So, not too bad in terms of accessories. And the last accessory here is not for Gambit, but more for the Nemesis Wave BAF. So this is his right leg here. So a lot of nice details again to Nemesis himself as a figure. You can see all the joints here placed well, a lot of the molding, and kind of how it sits throughout the actual body, or rather the leg. So pretty decent. Nothing, it's a lot to it, But we'll do a separate review once we get Nemesis put together, so you can kind of see more of the details. But it doesn't really come with any kinetic effects, unfortunately, but not a bad set overall. Next, moving on to articulation, let's see what this bad boy can do, right? So in terms of the head, so you can do some decent head turns here all the way. No resistance there, which is good. Tilt down, tilt up is pretty standard. Right to the side, to the right as well. So good head movement. Moving over to the shoulder laterals, gets that full 180 degrees, which is nice. Straight arms, right? No issues or resistance there. But you can kind of see that the cape kind of gets in the way sometimes. Good butterfly joints too. Doesn't move all the way forward, but gets you a good range of motion. Not too bad, right? Get some good rotation on both of his shoulders, right? All the way through and through. Doesn't really get stuck there, which is nice. Arm bends are pretty good at the elbows too. Doesn't really crunch hard, so you can get good movement there. Moving it to that 90-degree mark, right? In terms of the actual F crunch here, you can see the movement pretty good, right? Get forward pretty well. Going to the back doesn't get as much range, but he does get about 45 degrees, which is pretty decent, right? Not too bad. Now in terms of the waist, gets good waist rotation here. Can get you all the way around. In terms of the waist, our legs are pretty good. Got some good thigh rotation there. As well, so you can get movement there. Split is pretty good, almost gets you to that 180-degree mark, which is pretty cool. Leg rotation up to 90 degrees pretty easily, no issues there on both sides. Now, in terms of, let's say, the knees, let's take a quick look there. You can also see that it does get to almost that 90-degree mark, not quite on some of the sides, but if you push through, gets there. Leg is rather the foot movement is pretty good. So toe front, toe back. He doesn't have a boot swivel here, but it gets a good range of motion, front and back movement on the actual foot. Here you can see the back side of his ab crunch movement and kind of just see what it looks like from the back. So generally speaking, articulation is pretty good on this Gambit figure. Doesn't seem to be lacking anything major. I like that you can pose him different ways, right? So great job. Next, I want to just quickly show you guys what he looks like with the accessory swap, right? So let's go ahead and remove this left hand mold here and kind of put the right one in, which is the closed fist. And now I just give you a general idea of what it looks like, and how it's scaled well. So pretty decent there, right? And we'll also go ahead and put his bow staff in his right arm here and just kind of show you what it looks like when it's scaled to the actual figure body itself. Nothing too crazy in terms of poses, but this is kind of what you can essentially get with him, right, in terms of what it looks like if it's displayed a static position. Nothing too crazy again, but here you can see that the proportion and of the staff and the way it looks is pretty cool, right? And you can just kind of move it there, however you please. Left hand closed fist looks pretty good as well. Again, not the greatest accessory set because he's missing things like connect charges, but not the worst as well. So yeah, there we go. So there you have it, folks. Thanks for joining me today as we took a close look at Gambit from the new Nemesis Build-A-Figure X-Men Wave. My figure is pretty standard. I wouldn't say standard. He is pretty good for the set that it comes with. The figure itself and his design is great, but the accessories are lacking somewhat. Right? I wish they could have maybe given him some kinetic effects or something, right, just to add to his set. But I'm glad that he does at least come with the BAF part, unlike Wolverine, right? But overall, this is a good-looking figure. Design is great, and really like how he stands out as a different costume variation of Gambit, right? But let me know in the comments what you think, and if you feel like picking this guy up. And don't forget to smash that subscribe button for more content, the coolest Marvel figures around. Until next time, folks, keep on collecting.